last night we watched the final episode of Stranger Things season 4. We had put it off watching it because we wanted to watch the entire series from the beginning all the way through again. So we did that. And then last night we watched the final episode, which was, what was it? How long did it go for? It's like nearly 3 hours. Or 2.5 hours or something like that. Anyway, it was very, very long. And I've got to say, I had to stop now and then and do like heart coherence meditations. I was so beside myself. I just love that show so much. So here I am today. I'm still in my studio. I still can't, the technology is still not, up to speed. So I'm still on this one computer. Still don't have a laptop. Still don't have a microphone for the camera. Can't go to the witchy cottage. Probably wouldn't anyway because it's 4 degrees outside, but the sun's shining. So that's exciting. And what else? So I'm working, and what I'm working on, I'm building a new web page for my business because I'm going to do some coaching, offer some coaching. I studied life coaching. Oh, I'll show you. That's one of the manuals. That's the main manual. That's not the workbook, but that's just the main manual. So I studied that in 2021 and really, really loved it. But I didn't think that I would ever work as a life coach. I thought I would just, I just wanted to know, I wanted to be better at holding space for people within the community that I already run, and just sort of, I wanted to sort of fine tune those skills. But now I'm thinking I will actually open up some consult places because I want to, and I want to do more things. And, this is part of, I guess, what I talked about in the other video about, being at the crossroads, working with Hecate, making lots of changes in my life. So that's what I'm doing. So that's a lot of fun. And I'm also now, again, part of this big change. I've also launched into therapy. So I'm having therapy with a beautiful therapist, Gestalt therapy. So that's really amazing. And she is helping me so much to make these big transitions and make these big decisions and do all this stuff. I think when we talk, she's very non-judgmental, but I'm not sure what she thinks about Hecate and my relationship, but I'm sure we will dive into that more deeply as we go along. So I just wanted to quickly say, g'day, hi, I'm here still. We now in the IFAF community, we have 100 subscribers. 100. Can you believe it? So I am so excited and so happy to have 100 people here. It's really, really cool. So thank you if you've subscribed. What else did I want to say to you this morning? Oh yeah, I just wanted to tell you a little anecdote that was really funny because, so many things, there's so many synchronicities in life now, and there always has been, of course, but it feels like there's a quickening of things happening and things lining up. And so something that happened, sort of 2 things that happened in the last week that were really kind of weird for me and really cool. So I got a tattoo. And that was a really big thing for me because I don't have any tattoos. So it's my first tattoo, age of 61. I toddled off on my own, did it all on my own. I figured it was like going to the dentist, how bad can it be? Footnote, it hurt. Anyway, I got a tattoo and I've been thinking about it for a long time. Here, it's here. I got a circle. It's the actual tattoo is really cool, but the skin around it's a bit sore because I'm super sensitive to opsite. Anyway, so I got a tattoo, and then the next day we had a family lunch, and with all my adult kids and my brothers-in-laws and all that sort of stuff, and we all got together, and I had it covered because you have to cover it, and I had like an opsite thing on it with it. You couldn't see the actual tattoo; it just looked like this sort of bandaged little thing. And halfway through the meal, my son's girlfriend said to me, "What have you done to yourself?" And I said, "Oh," because I wasn't going to mention it. I said, I got a tattoo. And she went, her eyes like popped out of her head. And then everyone at the table looked down and said, what? Jen got a tattoo. And they were all sort of laughing. And because my 3 adult children are all clean skins, you know, and so my son was saying, oh God, mum's the first one out of us all to get a tattoo. That's hilarious. So it was really cool. But also, of course, they wanted to know what was under the bandage and what the tattoo was. And so I said, it's a circle, you know. And then I thought, oh, how do I even explain what it means to me to have this circle, and how long I've thought about having it. And I said, it's a sacred hoop, you know, it's a circle of life. And they're all kind of looking at me, and I said, oh, it's a pagan symbol. I just sort of pulled that one out of the air because I don't know that it really is a official pagan symbol, but they were happy with that. They could kind of relate to that. They accepted that. So that was kind of funny. So then I thought, oh, that's interesting. You know, something I've talked about with Kellyanne Maddox too is this thing about how do you explain when people fire questions at you, you know, and sometimes you feel put on the spot. You don't have to explain anything, of course, but it's nice to have some things clear in your mind so that you can be sort of articulate when you're caught on the spot. And so I was just reflecting on that and thinking maybe I need to rehearse what it is I say whenever anyone asks me what my tattoo is all about. So then I was home, and I was at the weekend, and I was thinking I'd love to do another IFAF video. I've got nothing to talk about. What can I talk about? And so I sat down at my computer, and those of you who know the channel would know that I didn't just close, I deleted a whole heap of videos when I shut the channel last year. And I've been trying to find some of that old footage and re-upload it there's a playlist called Previously on I Found a Box. So I have been doing that just to keep people, entertained, and to give you, you know, what's been going on and help you, and, you know, things that might be of use to you, because there was quite a few videos there, but I have lost most of them and I can't find them. Anyway, I sat down at the computer and I actually said out loud, like a little prayer, I said, angels, please help me find a video that would be helpful for my new IFAF community. And I just kind of went, you know, just sort of pressed on this into this folder in Dropbox, and I hit on a video, an IFAF video that was still there. But what it is it's because a couple of years ago I did this little, for want of a better word, it's a course, you know, a course about the divine feminine, because I really wanted to share what I had discovered in my research. And I was really enthusiastic about, as we all are when we sort of first come into this enchanted world. And I really wanted to collect my thoughts and put them into some sort of cohesive package and give them to my community. And so I did that. So I created this course in Kajabi, which is an online course platform. And as part of that course, I did a module at the end, which I called the bonus module, because it was just something I thought up to do at the end. And that was the video that I hit on. And wouldn't you know it, that video is, in that video, I talk about the sacred hoop. And even back then I was thinking about getting a tattoo, and I'm quite articulate about it because a lot of, you know, the thoughts that I was having are, you know, and the research is sort of fresh in my mind. And in that video, I talk about how in my morning pages, so these are, you know, I journal all the time. And at that point, part of my journaling process was doing a circle at the beginning of every month, and then plugging in little things that I've done or achieved or enjoyed. It didn't have to be anything big, but plugging that into that circle so that at the end of the month, I get this beautiful idea of the you know, the cycles, one of the cycles of my life, and what happened within that cycle. And it's almost like the little circles within the circles are like, you know, spirals and all that sort of jazz. And so it reminded me. And so I did one for July because I'd stopped doing it. I did one for July, and I'm now filling in my July circle as I do things, and or read books, or everything goes in here. Lunch with the kids, studying with Hecate. I had a soul path session with a beautiful businesswoman that I know, a clairvoyant who has a beautiful business coaching, basically her business is. But so we did a soul path illumination meditation together, and that was beautiful. So all these different things have gone into July, and so now I'm gonna take up doing that again. Sorry, Beatrice is going to walk past. Could you just not sit there? Would that be possible? Thank you. And so that's what this preamble is. It's to tell you that I'm now going to plug in that bonus video so if I talk in the video about the course and things mentioned in the course, that's what I'm referring to. I'm referring to the other videos. But I just wanted to share with you this whole idea of honoring the cycles of our life, and seeing that life is all about cycles. Some of them are large, some of them are small, and that's what this video is about. So I'm going to edit that onto here now, and it might be of use to you, and it might inspire you to perhaps paint your own circles in your journal if that's your wheelhouse. All right, and I will sign off now and go back to my enormous manual, and remembering, I have to get my pre-consult questionnaires sorted out and all the things. But I did want to send you loads and loads of love, and thank you so much for being here with me and for sharing my journey in this beautiful space and this beautiful way that we can do this. And if you want to leave a comment down below, love hearing from you. Really love hearing from you and love talking to you. And also a reminder that I Found a Fox has, I do have an Instagram account as well if you're on Insta. But I also know that social media can be a trap, so I'm not trying to give you gateway drugs. All right, if you're not into Instagram and that sort of stuff, and you don't want any more screen time, then walk away, step back from the Insta. It's enough that you're here on YouTube. All right, loads of love to you all. Blessings to you all, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now. I just want to make this really brief little sort of bonus video for you, because there's something that I wanted to say back when we were going through the slides, but I also didn't want to go off script and confuse you. But remember when we were talking about the dualities, and I was giving examples of masculine and feminine dualities, and I mentioned cyclical versus linear, or cyclical and linear. So cyclical being the feminine, part of the feminine principle, and linear being part of the masculine principle. And I think we can't underestimate the power that duality has over us and our thinking. And linear thinking, when we think of this duality in terms of thinking, linear thinking tends to imply that life is a race with an end point in the distant future, that progress is linear, that life should be lived in a linear fashion. And when we do that, we set up this pervasive idea that life is a race, and that a lot of people will fall by the way, and that's okay. We don't need to worry about them because we have our sights on the end goal. So it's very separatist type of thinking. So when we can rein our thinking in and start to think in cycles, and think of time as being more circular and cyclical, it's a much more inclusive and gentle way of living. And it's much less daunting And I find it way more grounding to think in cycles. Now, of course, if you're a woman and you're menstruating, you can use that cycle. If you've passed through that stage of your life, you can look at the moon and use moon cycles. But you can also it just can be as simple as looking at the calendar months as cycles in your life. Now, how does this look in a practical way? Well, this is what I really wanted to share with you in this little bonus video. What I have started doing this year is in my I call it my book of mirrors, which is my book where I reflect on everything. It's where I do my morning pages and that kind of stuff. In my book of mirrors, every month I draw a circle, or I paint with watercolor a circle. And then as the month goes on, I plug in little bits and pieces that I've achieved or done or experienced. I pop them into that circle. And that then at the closure of every month, of every cycle, I can see what's happened. I have this overview of what's happened. And my life feels more cyclical. And I feel calmer, and I feel less anxious, and I feel like I'm not competing. I'm just living my life in my cycles. And so what I want to do with this at the end of this year is to actually, I'll probably photocopy them out of my journal because I won't want to remove them from my journal, photocopy all the circles and put them in a row. And then I've got an overview of each cycle that I went through the year and what I achieved or what I did in that cycle. And it doesn't have to be anything miraculous or amazing or hardcore. It can be as simple as what types of plants I planted this month, or if I watched a really beautiful movie that I loved, I put that in my circle. So this is an example here of May. So May 2020, and all these little circles within the circle are things that I did or achieved or loved or had some experience of in May. Planted lilac, 2 olive trees, coriander, onions, catnip, bought a rescue kitten. That was a big one. Named him Harry. Watched Emma and Little Women in one afternoon. So it doesn't have to be. Made a tea cake. Walked for miles, made a video, wrote week 1 of the Divine Feminine course, which is what you're watching now. It's all in here in the cycle of May. And that's really given me a visual and tangible reminder that life is not necessarily linear and does not have to be led in that competitive, hardcore, striving way, but can in fact be very beautiful. And there could be a rounding out with each passing cycle, with each passing month, however you want to construct your cycles. It's up to you. But that's just one way for me, a practical way that has helped me address that duality of secular versus cyclical. I'll get it right. It's been a long day. And linear. So that might help you as well. And it's a fun thing. And each month I look back and see, what colours I chose and how pretty it was. Which is also, so looking here at April. April I wasn't as glamorous in April as I was in May. I didn't do as much decoration, and there's a few gaps there. Doesn't matter. It's just all this physical reminder of dualities and how they work in our life, and how we can start to unpack them and dismantle them and live our lives in a much more holistic and healthy way.